how much do you know about K-food? How much hanshik have you eaten?
We invite you into the world of Korean food, of course, including the history and culture of it.
We'll introduce trendy foods, sometimes famous restaurants on Dish of the Day with
Chef Ryan Phillips.
That's right, Chef Ryan's in the studio. It's Tuesday, and he brought donuts today.
Did. I was gifted some boxes of donuts yesterday from my MacGyver friend.
Who does not know you well enough to know that you do not like processed goodies? Although you did have one, I saw you.
I did. I had one of those old style ones. And
the original glaze.
I gotta say that was pretty good. No, I mean like the Jedna, like the I don't know what you call them because I don't eat donuts, but the older style ones, they're more bready. They're not so much air.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, the one I had was filled full of chocolate, and it was so many calories. I'm buzzing right now. Absolutely, that was delicious. That is not today's dish of the day because I did give you the hint earlier that it's going to be sweet, and those definitely were very, very sweet. We've got it in the studio, and we'll do it in a second. But I promised that I'd ask you, and I always ask you about the hashtag. It's a bit random today, but as a farmer, maybe you've got something to say. I don't know. Okay. Migratory birds or chose in Korean.
Migratory birds. Well, definitely the pheasants come and go. They're kind of gone right now.
Really?
They're around in the spring and the fall.
Oh, I wonder where they go to. I'm guessing not too far.
They must go north, right? They must go north.
Yeah.
But man, I got to say that the old farm is only maybe as the crow flies, maybe 20 kilometers.
Okay, not
maybe
too far.
30.
Yeah,
but the amount of birds, different species of birds on the new farm is huge.
You noticed that, right?
Oh, I hear them and I see them and they're gorgeous and they sound so cool. I mean, there's all these different songs. This really bright yellow bird, I forget the name of it now, but
is it
the whole
south,
thing's yellow.
north, west, east?
South, yeah.
Oh, okay, so maybe a difference in climate.
And there's just a little bit more forest around, undeveloped area, and there's just these gorgeous birds all around. Yeah.
Do birds do a lot of detriment to your crops? Because I was down in Karja recently.
Just the magpies.
Really?
Just the magpies.
And
they're like a little army of hooligans.
I saw a couple of farms that had covered their entire stock of whatever it was they were growing with these black nets.
Yeah.
And I was like, that
usually
must be
that's
to keep
for
away
our
the
topic
birds.
today. Because they're so highly prized.
Okay.
Like apples or pears.
Yeah.
A bird can just,
destroy
peck it once and then you can't sell it, right?
Oh, no, because it's ruined in that way.
Yeah, so they definitely net. I mean, you go out towards Chungju, in the countryside, and you won't see as much netting around the orchards. But when you're closer to the city, and that land is so much more expensive.
Yeah.
And it's totally fenced and netted, the whole thing. Peaches, apples, oranges. I'm sorry, not oranges, apples, pears.
You'll also see from time to time fruit that's still on the tree and it's like been bagged as well.
Right. That's from the insects.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. But that's better than using insecticide.
I guess so, yeah. Just having it bagged. And so that protects it, but it can still grow and be alive.
Absolutely. And that's why, apple orchards in the States, they'll be pretty tall trees. Usually you need a ladder or some other kind of picker, to get up there and get at them.
Yeah.
But here you don't ever need that. Everything
they're
is
all small, aren't
everything
they?
is short and squatty, so you can reach every single apple and put a bag around it, or pear.
Yeah.
I've not seen it with plums here. I've seen it with peaches sometimes, but not as common. Grapes always get bagged. Almost always.
Yes. Yeah. And you'll sometimes buy them and they're still in their little paper bags and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen that in the UK. So like Ryan mentioned, that's what we're going to be doing today. These summer fruits, right?
Yeah. We've never done this. And it's kind of fun. I know, people have their favorites and things. Like, we've got one kind of controversial one today. Like, some people just don't really like it at all.
Okay.
You know this guy, right? Well, maybe we save that for later.
Yeah. Okay. We will, because I'm not, I was less of a fan, but I'm starting, maybe like Gednip or Barilla Leaf, to kind of get on board with it. Yeah. And that's maybe the most Korean of what we've got today, because what we'll start off with, we've got it on the video stream. Let's put this picture up of a green apple, it looks like.
Right.
And then I think many people would recognize them as plums. Right?
Yes.
Chatu.
Yeah, we have. This is the more common type of plum. Now, the ones that we see in the West are the darker ones, and we have those here too, but they're a little bit less common. Sometimes they're called like blood plums or black plums.
The other ones, not these ones, right?
But these are much more common. Let me just cut into one of these for us today.
We had Halciorino saying, are they Mirabelle plums? And I had not been familiar with Mirabelle plums, so I've looked them up. And they kind of look a similar colour, but I don't know if these are.
Not quite, but they're maybe more akin to that. Would you like that?
Oh, okay. So let me show you what's inside. Yeah. So the flesh here, it's not like the blood plums as you were talking about earlier, which, can look rather bloody. These are very much yellow, light yellow, maybe a similar colour to almost an apple inside or even a melon that we've got here. And let me give it a sniff. Oh, they smell very fresh.
I think it might be a little tart. They seem a little bit firm, so they might be a little tart. That's the amazing thing about fruit, There's so many fruits around the world.
Yeah.
That are amazing, but they're only amazing for like a few days a year, so they don't ever make it into markets.
Okay, so I'm going to go with this bit that has the seed in it. So these are in season at the moment. Summer plums, known as chadu in Korean, right? We had a singer called Chadu on the show not too long ago. And you can eat the skin, right? Totally.
Yeah, I washed them up.
The ASMR is amazing. Oh, they're quite sour, aren't they?
Yeah, it's still a little underripe.
I love sour fruit, though. Oh, that's lovely.
These are good for bone health.
Really?
They have antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin A.
They're nice
and they can balance your blood sugar.
Oh, really?
And then, of course, good for digestion, which most people already know.
Despite being a fruit, they're not like going to shoot your blood sugar to crazy levels or anything.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Wow.
Okay, this one is a little softer. Oh, this is the softest.
These are really good because I usually go for the blood plums, like you were saying earlier, but they're only out for a short time. These are really delicious. If you like sour fruit, and they've got a real firm texture. Like you said, there's softer ones, but I like the firmness in that. That's lovely.
Let's see how this one differs now, Peter. Come on, let's check it. This one's just a bit softer.
Okay.
Maybe a day ahead of the other one.
All right. No, you can definitely feel it. And you can see the colour also. It's a little bit of a darker yellow here, the flesh, if we get it back on the camera. But Mini Producer is not showing it. Maybe you can see it from here. Let's get
just a shade sweeter.
Yeah, and less sour, for sure, if you don't like sour fruits. But these plums, I'm guessing, similar to what we can find in other parts of the world as well. Right?
Absolutely. These actually, well, of course, they've been cultivated here in Korea for a very, very long time. But originally they're from the area around the Black Sea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that until doing research for the show today, but yeah.
And they've got all the way over here.
That's where they started from.
Yeah. And so chadu, I think in Korea, I don't know. I wouldn't say they're a super common fruit like in the UK. They're so cheap as well. And like you said, you get a few different varieties. But here, Taesok is the earliest in the terms of the season and the smallest plum. That comes in late June. That's got low acidity and is quite sweet. And then the Humusa is the large fist-sized plum available in mid-July, yellow-tinted, juicy, the epitome of sweet and sour. I'm guessing these ones, maybe. They're not quite fist-sized. And then, as you said earlier, the Pijadu, or blood plum, that's harvested in August, and it's got skin and flesh that have that blood red colour, really deep kind of purpleness, and that's an intense tartness and strong aroma. Those ones I really like, really ripe as well. They're so juicy, right? You get a lot of moisture. These are quite firm, so there's not too much excess juice or anything coming out of it.
Are these available in the UK like year round or?
I'm pretty certain, yeah, because a lot of fruit in the UK, for some reason, is available year-round, unlike Korea, where it's very seasonal for a lot of stuff, right?
Well, growing up, we would have the darker plums, but it seemed like it was only, in the summertime. I think. I don't remember seeing them all year round.
Yeah. And then the other thing that was in the dish that Chef Ryan has just taken out is the green apple, right? And so this is known as 청사과 in Korean, chong being green. And I got to say as well, like apple varieties in the UK used to have loads all year round, loads of different colours, definitely green ones all year round as well. But seeing green apples in the Korean supermarket, again, is a bit more of a rarity.
I was surprised to go to the big market and see that every vendor had these green apples.
Oh, really?
I don't remember them always doing that.
No.
But this one is, it's ready a whole lot sooner than the other. The other apples, you're talking September, October for the season. But the green apples they're awesome for baking pies. If you ever had apple pie, it's usually the best ones are
the green apple. Why is that? Are they like more firm and like hold up well?
That's it. And also, you're going to add sugar to a pie, and these are much lower in sugar.
Yeah, they're not as sweet, are they? Apples are one fruit that you will 100% find all year round in Korean supermarkets, right? Obviously, they're storing it in certain ways, but it's one of the fruits where they won't necessarily go by season. Although, as you said, in the autumn time, they are delicious then, right?
And a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, it looks and smells a lot more tart and sour than a regular red apple.
Lovely.
Oh,
very
wow.
crisp.
Yeah. Really crisp. Not too sweet, but not too sour or anything compared to the smell.
I kind of expected it to be a little bit more tart. But
yeah, not at all. Wow. And then the texture, it's a little bit less crunchy, I'd say, than the other apples. We're going to get to a song. We do also have a emergency alert to go out from our news team, and we'll be back after that talking more about these fruits and some more. This next track is from John Park, Summer Comes Back, 여름은 돌아와. Talking about the heat wave warning there, Kiyun, in the news team. These fruits, really great to cool you down, right? Fruits naturally seem to be cool, right? Even if you're not storing them in the fridge, when you bite into them, they just get you refreshed. We got Chef Ryan in the studio talking about the summer fruits. So far, we've done the plums and the green apples. And some of you getting in touch. Peter says, 과일 맛있는데 너무 비싸요. Yeah, they're tasty, but they're very expensive. Yeah, Korean fruit really do take the biscuit when it comes to prices. You can pay a few thousand won for just a single apple, which is kind of unheard of in the UK. I heard, it's a lot to do with, obviously we're eating a lot of domestic fruit, and so it's expensive to cultivate here. We get bigger fruits as well, like our apples and pears are huge, right?
Yeah, maybe fruit should cost more. Maybe we've gotten a little drunk on low prices in the West in a lot of cases. The fruit here is amazing, but it does cost, sometimes 3, 4, 5 times as much as what you'd expect in a Western grocery store.
Yeah, and someone told me last week they think one of the reasons is, our fruit is so sweet and, like you said, so delicious because we kind of treat it as a dessert, right? To have it after a meal, whereas in the West, I think of bananas and apples and pears. We had a fruit bowl on the table. It was more like an in-between meal, snack, sustenance.
Or something thrown in the lunchbox.
Yeah, so it didn't have to be super sweet. So maybe that's something to do with the price. Because we do sometimes make sure the fruit gets sweeter by making the trees direct all their nutrients there. I don't know. There's lots of methods to do that, right?
Man, it's when you see the farms here and the amount of care that goes into each one, it's like, wow. But it makes sense because the land costs so much more. So, if you had really, really cheap land and you could plant tons of trees and then you don't worry about them too much and then you just get one of those things that shakes the tree and everything falls out. Maybe you bruise some, but you just sell them for a little bit less money. Here, there's none of that. Everything is hand-picked perfectly.
Stop it falling
even grown in a little paper bag. A little bag that keeps the bugs off but lets it breathe.
Yeah.
Have you seen those ones where they put the form the plastic form over the fruit as it
Oh,
grows.
really?
This is more in China than in Korea, but I've seen it in Korea too sometimes.
To stop it like bruising if it falls?
No. The form is just to make it grow into
a certain
so you
shape.
can get a square-shaped watermelon.
I've seen those. Yeah, it's gimmicks.
Or
right?
or a Buddha-shaped pear.
Really?
That's
what happens.
Wow.
Amazing. Hatsirina says, God, it's been ages since I hadn't eaten a plum. I am drooling. They will make you drool as well because they're quite sour and tart, but in a good way. Siska says, that's a healthy breakfast today. I don't know, I always read conflicting things like, on an empty stomach, should you eat fruit? I've heard that there are some fruit which release sugar quite slowly, so they're good for light breakfast. But some, if it's too quick, it's like a sugar rush. The donut was not good.
No, the donut was probably a bad idea. I think we started in the right range, though.
Yeah.
I think the green apple and the plum would probably be the lower sugar ones.
Yeah. Oh, those were delicious. And Jackie says tart plums are my favourite to make jelly and jam out of, especially super bright red ones. Sour fruit are great for making chutney, says Matahari. That's not something we do very often here, chutney, right?
That's true, but it's so easy. It's kind of like a jam with onions, you know?
That's a good explanation. We're going to get on to some other things. Just a quick note on the green apples. Apparently the ones we have here are known as aori, and they were originally developed in Japan under the official name of sugaru, but are known in Korea as aori, and they're popular in their summer because of that juiciness and that crisp texture, and of course, super good for you, right? Antioxidants galore, more than apparently red apples. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, moving on to this little baby, who is the main star of the show, I would say, today. And we've talked about it before, right? The Korean melon, as it's sometimes called, but Chamoe.
Right. Chamoe. Yeah. And the first few times that I had these, I was like,
Me too.
It's like somewhere between a cucumber and a melon. Which it kind of looks. I don't know if you guys can see this now.
Yeah.
This is a average size one I get. Maybe a little on the small side. I've seen them quite a bit bigger than this as well.
They don't get huge like a honeydew or a watermelon, but you're right, they can be bigger. They're rarely smaller, but can be. And then inside, this is what it looks like, right? You see all the seeds in the middle there, right?
Actually, here, let's do it this way. I don't know if it's soft enough. Ooh, it may not be.
Okay.
Let me try. The seeds are totally edible. Do you usually eat the seeds?
I usually don't eat this fruit, Ryan.
Oh, of course, because it's too much like the cucumbers.
Yes, but I'm getting more and more used to it. But when I do eat it, I've got to admit, not the seeds, because they just look really membranous, if it's the right word. But that's where the sweetness is, right?
It really is. That's why I was suggesting to go ahead and eat it.
Yeah.
And the seeds aren't very bothersome. It's not like a watermelon seed or something.
Okay, they're much more easy to just chew on and swallow.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a spoon.
Okay, let me try a little. Oh, thank you.
Let you try this same way.
Because usually you're not eating the seeds separately. Usually you're slicing it up and eating it all together. But there are some people who take out the seeds, some people who take out some. And I think the old school, like the grandmas, my granny used to love this, and my mum does as well. She'll eat all the seeds with all the flesh as well. But you are peeling them. You're not usually eating the skin, are you?
Right.
Okay, so let's
We usually
give the
peel them
seeds.
and slice them up, but I was just doing this for...
Wow, the seeds are so much sweeter than the flesh, aren't they? Wow.
This is a pretty good one.
Maybe that's where I've been going
This
wrong.
one's a little better than the first few that I had.
Yeah, like you said, when I first tried this, I was like, there's no flavour. It's just
what
like a
is this?
flesh.
Yeah.
But I was looking it up on the internet because, we call it Korean melon here in Chamoe. Let me taste it. Oh, the flesh is nice and soft. That tastes very similar to like what we in the West consider melons, right?
Right.
Honeydew melon. What is it? Cantaloupe, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be much less sweet than this, though, I feel. This is a good one, isn't it?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the bummer. Like,
you just don't know, right?
right. Well, yeah, I mean, hopefully you can trust the person you're buying from.
Oh, that's not bad at all. And you're right, the seeds, they're not like soft seeds, but when you chew into them, they're totally fine to eat as well. And I was looking into that melon, and apparently, historically, variants of this melon, which is a group of oriental melons known as Cucumis melo makua, they were grown across China and Japan as well. But in Japan, Oriental melons were widely eaten for many hundreds of years. But as soon as Western melons, like the cantaloupe and honeydew, were introduced in the 20th century, the cultivation of these melons plummeted. So they're like a rare local heritage crop. But in Korea, we consume by far the most and produce by far the most as well. Wow.
It is the only place I've seen it, is here in Korea.
Yeah. Like, I've not come across it.
That really is a pretty good one.
Really
you
is.
get notes of kind of like honey and pear a little bit to it,
And the flesh, that's delicious, isn't it? And look, you get your little spoonful there with the flesh and try it. That's really delicious. This is my best ever chamoe, I think. So now we're on board with this.
I think it's a great fruit. As long as when you're buying fruit, the fruit vendors are the ones that might be the first to take advantage of you a little bit if they're not used to seeing you. If you're like a little tourist that comes by and they've never seen you before, they might be quick to give you the first thing that they want to get rid of. But when you build up those relationships, or just if they see you at the market enough, then they're much less likely to do that to you.
Absolutely. So these are usually relatively reasonably priced as well.
Totally.
Out of the fruits, right?
They're the cheapest by far.
Yeah. Like, I think we got a bag for about 7,001 this morning.
Going back to the green apples, it was manwon for I think 6 or 7 of them, and the plums, probably about 15 little plums for about manwon or 10,000 won.
Oh, okay. So that's the prices you can think, and those that would be more expensive than in England for those two, apples and plums for sure, right? Yeah. And then we got final two. So this one that we have dominating, the melon.
I want to show the outside of it if we can without making a mess.
There's a bit of juice in the middle, isn't there?
Yeah. So this one fooled me so many times when I first got here, because to me this is a cantaloupe.
That's what it looks like.
But on the inside, it's green, like a honeydew.
So what is it?
This is a musk melon.
Musk melon.
And I have very rarely seen cantaloupe in Korea. And they were maybe imported. They're orange on the inside. You didn't grow up with cantaloupe?
No, that word was so... I thought people were talking about an animal in the Sahara.
Antelope.
Yeah. Because I was like, cantaloupe? That's not a thing I grew up hearing. And I wasn't a fan of melon in the UK, so I don't know if we did have them. We probably did, because we had so many different types of melon. But I remember seeing this one more commonly, like the honeydew, similar to this, right? Inside, is it?
Oh man, it's good.
Oh really? It looks amazingly juicy. So
That's
is
my
this
favorite.
native to Korea as well? Because these kind of melons, aren't they quite expensive?
Not native, but they're definitely grown here.
Okay.
And they're not easy to grow. I have tried to grow these, and rainy season really messes them up, so you got to keep them dry.
Wow.
But
if you have the chamoe first and then this, that's perfect, because the chamoe tastes nice, but the flavor of this is so much deeper, right? And I'm sorry for the terrible explanation, but it tastes like the melon ice cream bars we have.
That's it. That's totally
They're
it.
meant to be the opposite, of course.
And they're green. Right. Melona.
Yeah. We have those bars, right, which have gone really popular in many parts of the world. But it's exactly that taste. Just like, do you remember, Rai, we said, with the Campbell's grapes, that's the taste of grape soda.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Grape. I was always wondering why grapes don't taste like grape candy. And then I came to Korea and I tried that Concord or that purple grape.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what it is.
So if you like the taste of grape candy, grape soda, and also melon ice cream, and we've got melon milk now, this is the melon we're talking about, the musk melon.
The flavors are real. They're just from other places.
And it does taste like candy. It tastes too good, right?
Now, this was only 7,000 won. But because my lady's good to me.
That is reasonably priced for Korea, isn't it?
You might have to pay like 14, 15
easily double
for these. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you're talking more than $10 for one of these melons, which again, in the UK would not cost that much. But, it's delicious.
Are we just on a donut sugar high? And so
we just love everything.
We're just loving sugar?
Maybe. Yeah. I didn't used to see as many of these melons in the past as nowadays. But now they're becoming much more common. You'll find a lot of like melon-related bingsu, or this melon where they scoop it out with those little round
melon
scoopers.
Yeah. I was looking for mine this morning. I couldn't find it at the house. It must be the kitchen.
Oh, that is so good. And then the last one today.
Yeah,
to rush
and I'm
through,
so
'cause we've
glad
got
we
so
have this.
many.
I'm so glad that we have this because peaches in Korea are. This one's pretty firm.
Okay.
We'll see. But peaches are mind-blowingly good here, and I'm a bigger fan of the softer ones. This one's a little firm.
Me too.
But I think it'll be a nice peach.
But the problem I found with peaches is they really are hit and miss, like depending on where you're getting them from.
This is true.
Some of them are really plain tasting. So you can see with this one, it's like a kind of deep red in patches. It's a bit splotchy and it's a bit whiter, and it's furry on the outside. And then inside, it's very white with light patches of pink. Just looking at this, Ryan, I'm going to say it doesn't look too sweet.
Yeah.
See, I can tell.
What a lovely texture, though.
Yeah, nice and crunchy. Mm-hmm. So these peaches, sometimes you can pay, like for a small box of peaches, like 20, 30,000 won. They can be really expensive. Did these set you back a bit? You got it from your fruit lady.
We have to thank our writers for these.
Oh,
I got
for the
here
peach.
this morning and they had a few of these out there. Look sweet.
Like you said, the texture's nice and not too crunchy. Sometimes they can be really crunchy.
I don't think we even have this variety of peach in the West.
No.
I don't
Thinking
think
about
I
it.
ever see the firmer one. No.
Because we also have here in Korea the really soft orange ones, right? Inside the
Oh
flesh.
my God. Oh
Those
my God.
literally just... Eating them is quite messy as well because there's so much water content in there and they just go everywhere. But those are my absolute hands down favourite. These, there's a bit of sweetness, there's a bit of tartness to it, but it's more if you like this texture, the kind of crunch to it. Less crunchy than an apple, of course. Maybe similar to in between an apple and a plum, I would say. Known as 복숭아. But we have so many different types of 복숭아 here in Korea. Get your hands on a good one. We'll be back in part 3 with what's in your fridge. So tell us your ingredients, right? What you got in your pantry, what you got in your fridge. If there's something fruit related, even better. And we'll give you some recipes. Let's get on to this next track, which is covered in fruit. Jenny's Less Than a Lover. Delicious. We've had today our summer fruit extravaganza with green apples, plums, Korean melons, the peaches, and the musk melons as well. They've all been delicious. But my surprise of the day, as I said, I wasn't really into Chamoe. But this Chamoe, this Korean melon's really nice and sweet. And the seeds, that's the key. I think the majority of people don't eat all the seeds. They like take out a little bit and leave a little bit in. But there's nothing like uncomfortable about eating all of that bit inside, the membrane and everything.
It's the sweetest part. It really is, yeah.
Yeah, leave that all in if you're going to try it. We're going to get to what's in your fridge and whatnot. Mark's got a question first, saying, do you guys have nectarines in Korea?
We do.
I like them over peaches. They're firmer and sweeter. Yeah, I've seen them as well. Is there a big difference? How do you tell the difference? Is it like the texture or the shape or the colour?
Yeah, and the skin, it's not so hairy.
Ah, okay.
I made a really lovely nectarine vinegar. I found a bunch of nectarines last year that were cheap at the market because they're really, really ripe.
Yeah.
And I made a vinegar out of it, and I've been adding that to smoothies, and it's just like a little bit to sour things up.
Like a kind of apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, anytime you've got fruit, you know, that's going off, check it out. It's really easy to make vinegar. If you have a vinegar with mother, and now that you can usually find an apple cider vinegar with mother anywhere in the world. And that just means that it hasn't been pasteurized. You know, it still has some active enzymes in there that can
which is totally fine to consume.
Absolutely. It converts sugar into alcohol and alcohol into vinegar. And so you can add anything with sugar or fruit like that, and it'll slowly, over about 2 weeks usually, convert it into vinegar for you.
If you get it in the middle, then, does that mean you'll get alcohol?
A very small amount. We're talking 1 to 2% maybe.
Okay, interesting. That's
And
a
you'll
good
get
tip.
sparkling as well. Have you ever heard of tepache?
No.
In Mexico, it's really common to ferment pineapple, or even just the rind of the pineapple, not even the whole pineapple.
Oh.
Take the outer part because it has the good enzymes there.
Yeah.
Put that with raw Mexican sugar, or like cane sugar, and water, and then let it sit for it can be ready in 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
And it's naturally sparkling then.
Oh.
So you put that over ice, and it's got the sweet pineapple flavor. Sometimes folks add cinnamon and clove.
Yeah.
And then you've got this really good summer refreshing drink.
Wow.
It's also probiotic too.
Oh, that sounds really
and maybe
nice.
a little bit of alcohol
It
too.
sounds a little bit like kombucha. Sometimes you get it fizzy.
Totally.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant.
kombucha is a little bit alcohol.
We've got a few. What's in your fridge? Where we're going to start today?
We do. Where should we start? Okay, well, I want to start with Siska today. Hi, Siska. Siska says, haha, my fridge is not getting better, Ryan. Feel free to ignore it. No, I'm not going to ignore it because, all right, I'll give it to you guys and y'all think what you would do. Bananas, pears, mandarin oranges, chili, milk, eggs, always chili, milk, and eggs in Siska's fridge. Choco pie, cinnamon cake, croissant, cheese, and yogurt.
Oh, something desserty might come to mind with those cakes and things.
Boy, oh boy. Well, there's one thing that kind of stands out in this for me, and that is Bananas Foster.
Bananas Foster. I know you've mentioned that before. What is that again?
So in the wonderful city of New Orleans, down in Louisiana, there's a famous dessert dish that is bananas and brown sugar and cinnamon and butter. And then they flambe it with some rum or some banana liqueur. Sometimes there's some nuts added in and usually ice cream. But what you have here, we could do a variation of it because see, you've got cinnamon cake.
Yes.
And even the croissant would work because that's full of butter.
Oh, yeah.
And you could do a variation of like a Bananas Foster French toast. Because you got the eggs. You could soak the cinnamon cake and the croissant in the eggs. Maybe cut them into smaller pieces. Soak them in the eggs. Then cook them in a pan, right? And throw your bananas down in that pan too. And just don't touch them. Let them sit still.
Yeah.
And they'll caramelize a little bit on the bottom. You can add a little bit of sugar too if you want to. And yeah. Along with that, yogurt, why not? Rather than the ice cream, if you've got a plain yogurt or slightly sweetened yogurt. And I don't know what kind of cheese you have, but if it's a really mild white cheese, that could also go well with this too.
That could work as well. Yeah, with the cinnamon cake, I was thinking of something cinnamony, but bananas, that goes perfectly together, doesn't it?
Boy. Yeah, that's what really stands out for me in that one, Siska. Have fun with it.
Give it a try. Got another message.
Yeah, Halserino in Brazil, oi tudo bem, cara. Yeah, let's see. Oh boy. It says, some weeks ago I mentioned that I had mandioca. That's, for those who don't know, mandioca is cassava or yucca root. It's similar to a potato in the way it can be prepared.
Yeah.
But a lot better for you than just a French fry. I had mandioca and pork chop, and I kind of suggested it as a traditional Brazilian dish. We call it mandiocada. I'm not familiar with that one, Sereno. Send me a picture if you get a chance, brother. It's basically any kind of meat cooked together with mandioca until everything blends together and becomes rich and flavorful. Stew. So the way we do potato stews, like potato and beef in Brazil, it's with the mandioca. That makes total sense. It's very healthy and delicious, especially with lots of seasoning and spices. But today, Halserino in his fridge has pasta, potatoes, eggplant, and a lot of fruit, bananas, apples, oranges, and many more. Okay, when I hear the potatoes and the eggplant, only one dish reigns supreme.
Potatoes and eggplant.
Yeah. Can you think of any dishes with both potatoes and eggplant? Moussaka.
Okay. Going to like the Mediterranean.
Yeah, Greek. In Greece, there's a dish called moussaka, and that is the way you're supposed to pronounce it. I used to pronounce it moussaka for a long time, and a Greek friend corrected me. It's moussaka. And you start with frying potatoes. You cut them into maybe 1/4 of an inch thick slices. Same thing with the eggplant.
Yeah.
Leave the peel on the eggplant even. Fry those in olive oil, an extra virgin olive oil.
Both of those.
And be aware, eggplants are like sponges to olive oil. They just soak it all up out of the pan, so you're going to need a lot of olive oil. But it's a good oil, so don't worry. You fry those up. You set them aside. Then maybe you'll do a little meat, set that aside, and then in like a casserole dish, you build this.
Yeah.
And it's the potatoes, the eggplant, the meat, and then on top of that, you have to make a bechamel. You know what a bechamel is?
The white creamy sauce.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Sorry, I put Peter on the spot. He looked at me scared for a second.
Like, what?
All right, so bechamel is it's a flour and a fat, usually butter, 1-to-1 in a pan, and you cook it. And for this, you would do a white or a blonde. A brown would be for a darker gravy, right? But a white or a blonde would be great for this dish. That means you're just cooking it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes and over a low heat. You're trying to get the raw flour flavor out of that.
Yeah.
Once you've gotten to that point, then you pour in milk, and that makes it a bechamel. If you were to add a stock, then it'd be a veloute, and you'd have a gravy. Right?
Okay.
But with the milk, whisk, get it really smooth, put it through a fine mesh sieve, and you're almost ready to put it on top of your moussaka, but you're lacking just a couple of egg yolks. Mix that in to make it extra rich. That goes over the eggplant and the potato and maybe some minced meat that you've sauteed in garlic. And then you bake that all in the oven until that bechamel custard, because of the eggs added to it, kind of sets on top. And it is an amazing dish. If you've never tried moussaka, I highly recommend you find it or make it yourself.
That sounds lovely and rich, doesn't it? One last message from Matahari, who says, I have a question, Chef Ryan. It's been a while. Do you have a published cookbook? Or if not, do you plan on doing one?
I've thought about this. You know what I want to do?
You don't have one.
Yeah, well, thanks. I guess what I want to do is probably make a family cookbook.
Oh.
And it would not necessarily to sell, and I highly recommend it. Everybody does this. Find all of your relatives, and especially the older folks, and get those recipes. Get them on
Write
paper.
them down.
Get them down.
Well, you're going to lose them, right?
Yeah.
Potentially.
A good friend of mine, he and his mom put together one recently and gave me a copy of it. And it's got pictures of the family in there going through time, and it's seasonal. It's this is a great one for this time of year in this place. And
it's way more special like that.
It's the coolest thing, and maybe it's not for mass publishing and making money, but what a really cool thing to have around and to share with your family.
You've got to do that as a chef for sure. And you did ask about English ones with Korean dishes. Now we have the internet and YouTube. I know it's not the same, but you can find anything on YouTube in English.
I'll give a shout out to Booty Kitchen. I'm sure their site is still up. It's Booty with 2 B's. It means root in Korean. BBURI Kitchen.
Like booty. Okay.
And there's some friends of mine, some old friends of mine. I haven't seen them in a while, but they put together in English some of the most respectable information on Korean ingredients and recipes that I've ever seen, with pictures. And if you need any other sources, hit me up. I'll help you out.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Thanks for the summer fruit and donut as well. I have my sugar fix for the week. We'll see you again next Tuesday.
Thanks, Peter.
Here's Maggie with Cool.